Hello and welcome to YouTube, a CricketNext channel. I am Vineet Ramakrishnan and we have lined up a special interview today with former India cricketer, former India national selector and current cricket analyst with Jio Cinema, Mr. Saba Karim. He'll be talking about the hottest franchise league property going around the circuit right now, which is the Women's Premier League. Running out of time, yeah. So how much have you enjoyed, calling the games in the WPL and being, part of the Jio Cinema as coverage as an expert?
Oh, it's great fun. Enjoyed it immensely. It was good to see women cricket flourishing in this manner. And to be part of this entire exercise has been simply rewarding. So I enjoyed every bit of it.
Great. And before the start of the WPL, there were apprehensions, how WPL will be received by the audience. But there's been a considerable amount of interest for WPL, on the ground and in general as well in terms of coverage. What has been your observations, in terms of how the league has been taken in by the fans itself?
I don't think there was any apprehension at all because this was in the pipeline. If you recall, 3-4 years or even before that, BCCI started this Challenger Trophy. And at that point of time, only 2 teams participated. But we did have some overseas players participating in the Challenger Trophy. So from 2 teams, it went up to 3 sides that took place, I think, last year. So this was about to happen, and the kind of response which one saw during those Challenger games that has been conducted over the past 3-4 years was wonderful to watch. We had these games in Jaipur. I remember, I think Surat also hosted some games, and the response we received from the public gave us this kind of an idea that as and when the Women Premier League takes place, the response from the audience, the response general from the environment will be very good. And that's what we have seen so far in this tournament.
Yeah, great. And Mumbai Indians have been on a roll and look really unbeatable. What has been, for you, you've been tracking them very closely, the entire league itself. What has been the key to their success in the tournament so far?
I think they have done some excellent scouting, plus the preparation has always been exemplary. And I think that is why we see the result on the field. They have stitched together a very well-balanced side. They have given a lot of thought in the kind of domestic players whom they wanted to pick. So they spent some time in gathering information and putting the right kind of support staff in place. And all that has helped the team to grow. And if you have professionals as in your dugout as part of the support staff, someone like Jockey More, and then you have Jhulan Goswami, who have a lot of idea about women domestic cricketers, all that helps to build your side. So it's not only about international players, it's not only about your overseas players, but also about your domestic cricketers. And I think that is why the amount of time they have spent in developing this side, in picking the right kind of talent, all that has come good for them at the right time.
Right, and Harmanpreet, she was under pressure heading into the IPL, not a great run with the bat, crushing semi-final defeat also. Her auction price wasn't the greatest as well, despite the fact, she was the Indian women's team captain. How do you, see her, performance and leading the team, thoughts on Harmanpreet, the skipper?
I think the knock she played in the semi-finals of Australia in the World Cup T20, and I think that filled her with a lot of confidence. And she has grown from there. The way she conducts herself on the field, the way she has led her side, it just goes to show that she is in command. And I will not hesitate to say this, that right now, the way I see it, I look at Harman as the best white ball batter as of now, because the way she has dominated all those games in which she has batted has been exemplary. It's wonderful to watch her play. It's wonderful to watch her take some calculated risks. It's so good to see her batting with so much of responsibility. And among all the overseas batters, including some of the big names in the game, I really look at Harman as one of the top white ball batters at this stage in women's cricket.
Right, and the other spectrum of it is the RCB team. Again, a very strong side, but 5 losses. Again, what do you think has gone wrong with them?
I've always felt that big names to fire, to give a proper kickstart to the campaign. Unfortunately for RCB, that has not happened. Whether it is about Smriti Mandhana not scoring runs, or even Sophie Devine being very sporadic in her performances, Heather Knight, even Elise Perry, she scored only in the last game. But overall, you expect some of the big names to do well for the side. And since that has not happened collectively, which has not helped RCB do well in this tournament so far. Hopefully things may turn for them, but they need to put together all that effort, and only then I think they can get some wins under the belt.
Yeah, hopefully they do. One thing on WPL, your predictions for the two teams, who will be in the final. As of now, what do you see these two teams? Mumbai, of course.
I see Mumbai and Delhi Capitals, because Delhi Capitals have also done some excellent homework. Their picks also have been quite good so far, and they have been able to put together a very well balanced side. They've been inspirational in terms of the leadership. They've got a young, exciting talent like Tafali Verma. Meg Lanning at the top really offers that kind of stability. So one can see the kind of shape Delhi Capital side has also taken. So I'm looking at both these teams qualifying and then playing the finals.
Right. And one last question before the time runs out. I'll shift the focus a bit towards the Australia ODIs now, the men's team. Shreyas Iyer is out with a back injury. This year, this is the second time that he's missing series because of this injury. Sky seems to be a natural replacement, but do you think it is time to, shift focus towards a Patidar or a Samson in the mix in the middle order, considering you also have a World Cup? This is a World Cup year.
Keeping them in the mix may be a good idea, because the way whatever one can notice, number of players are getting injured. So it's good to have a larger pool of players in the mix, so that as and when required, they can be pulled in the 11 or in the squad. So yes, there are I'm sure number of players who are waiting, so-called in the wings, to be drafted in the side. Sanju Samson has already had international experience. Rajat Patidar, if I'm correct, has been part of the setup, has yet to play a one-day cricket. But all those who have done well in the domestic Vijay Hazare tournament, or for India A in whatever white ball game that India A has played, I think all such players can be considered. But yes, you're right. Sanju Samson is a very good bet, and also Rajat Patidar. So there are 2-3 exciting players. I look at Sarfaraz also, Sarfaraz Khan also. He's a multi-talented player who has done well in white ball cricket as well as red ball cricket. So maybe he can be another person one can look at. Prithvi Shaw is another person that comes to my mind. So I'm sure Rahul and Rohit would be working in that direction along with the national selectors.
Great. Thank you, Saba. That's it about from me. Thank you for your time. It was a pleasure talking to you.
Such a pleasure.